Alright, I'm here with
Pierce,
Pierce, and where are you from, Pierce?
New Zealand.
And have you ever been to the USA?
Yeah, one 2008 with my family.
Where did you go?
New York, which was exciting.
What was the best part of your experience in New York?
I went to a Yankees game and it went to the ninth inning. It was a real close game. I don't really understand baseball, but
Who does aside from Americans?
yeah,
right?
exactly.
And Japanese people because they love baseball. Yeah.
But it was awesome.
Describe the USA in one word.
Infinite.
Expand on that.
You can do anything there. There are no limits on growth or ideas or culture. Everything kind of takes off there rather than get suppressed.
Goes back to what some other people have said is opportunity. There's just unlimited opportunity. So this is an election year. So let's jump to the election. Kamala Harris and Donald Trump. Who do you think will win?
I think Kamala, she's riding a wave right now that she's uniting a lot of people. Okay. So I could see that happening.
Okay. What are your thoughts on each of them?
Well, Donald Trump, he kind of I guess came from outside the political system. So I guess he kind of changed or challenged the status quo in America. But I guess that was what he originally came from. What he actually did ended up being a lot different, and he kind of just divided people, made everything about his tweets rather than maybe his policies. And the Jan 6 stuff was probably the last moment where if I had any kind of respect maybe for him, it kind of went away after that. Yeah.
And Kamala Harris, what do you think about her?
I'm kind of interested in what her stance on Palestine is. I think it's a little different to Joe Biden, and I think that's a good thing. I know she's a prosecutor, a lawyer. Yeah, which is quite interesting because Trump's a federal criminal, so kind of feel like that's the best person to put against a criminal. I like her style. I think it's good as well that if a woman took power in America, because they've never had someone.
Who do you want to win?
Probably Kamala Harris.
Okay.
Yeah, I think she'd do more good, more benefit for America than Trump.
What do you like most about the USA?
I like their literature a lot. I like some of their authors.
What's your favorite American author?
I don't mind Hemingway, but if I had to choose one, be Ken Casey, who did this small book, One Flew Over the Cuckoo's Nest, and that's my favorite American book.
And what do you hate most about the USA?
Kind of related to what was said earlier. I think they're a little xenophobic in some respects, because they rightfully think America is the center of the world. They maybe don't engage with other cultures as much as they could, and so they get a little bit narrow-minded about themselves.
Who's your favorite US celebrity?
Probably Jaylen Brown, because I think he stands for something. Yeah, he's with the Boston Celtics. He got left off the American Olympic team, and I think that was kind of unfair.
Yeah, wasn't he NBA MVP?
He was the finals MVP, which doesn't make any sense. And he had 3 of his teammates on the Olympic team, but not him.
Why?
There's some stuff around Nike, contractually. I think they'd think he he's plugged into the culture to the extent that he's a socially aware and social activist, and they maybe thought he would say something on the world stage.
What do you think of Americans? What comes to mind when you think of Americans?
Probably the same thing. Loud, you know them when you see them. The other thing I would say though that comes to mind is quite cheerful, if that makes sense. They don't seem that depressed. I'm not saying everyone seems depressed, but they think they have a spirit about them that they'll look on the bright side of life.
No, there are definitely some nations that you meet them and they're not as cheery or upbeat as Americans. Americans in general, I find, have an upbeat nature to them, which is always nice. Of course, that's a generalization. What do you think is the best influence of the USA in the world?
Oh, that's a great question. I think the value they place on art, all their film industry, even traditional artists like Warhol, and even just with writers and their literature. A lot gets said about capitalism and negative effects of it, but they always seem to be the center of new cultural waves, new cultural movements, artistic movements. And I think that's not a coincidence. I think having a strong economy supports great art.
I think you have to be at a given level of economic and social development to be able to really give focus to your artists and give that foundation they need. And obviously there's some less developed countries, if they had that same level of development, we'd see their art so much more in the world.
I agree. It's even an issue in New Zealand. There's not much economic support for artists, and therefore it's very hard to pursue that as a career and find monetary reward for that. So yeah, I agree completely.
What do you think is the worst influence of the USA on the world?
The imperialism is quite negative and it's quite widespread. Talk about Afghanistan, the pullout there, the Middle East, the presence in Israel, I think could be rethought. And then I think there is kind of conception that they might come into a country promising democratic spread of democracy, and really the country doesn't end up in such a great place afterwards. So yeah, war, terror, that kind of thing, I think.
What's one thing you'd like to see changed about the USA?
Maybe less of a reliance of their self-image, their idea of themselves as something defined by what's said on social media. So all the social media apps obviously I'm mainly from America, and I think people get an idea of America from YouTube, from like even just from Wikipedia, from Facebook comments that is quite negative and harmful to themselves. Like I think they're a better country than they give themselves credit to be, without also sometimes overvaluing themselves. So if it makes sense, I don't think you can find out about America from like a YouTube comment section or like from a Twitter argument or from like a Facebook post. I think it's more than that. Yeah, that's what I'd say.
So you just want that improved about how, I guess, America is shown in the world.
Yeah.
Well, I hope this video helps that.
Yeah, exactly.
All right, I'm here with
August.
Nice to meet you. Where are you from?
South Sudan.
All right, so today's question is about the USA. Have you ever been to the US?
No.
No?
Yeah.
Okay. When you think about the USA, describe the USA in one word.
No, I cannot describe it in one word, but because it's bad and it's good also.
Okay, it's bad and it's good.
Yeah.
What's one word that comes to mind when you think of the USA?
I could say nice country.
Nice country?
Yeah.
Why is that?
Yeah, because there's a freedom there.
Okay.
And also, if you have a dream, you're gonna achieve it USA.
So this year is the election year. Kamala Harris versus Donald Trump. Who do you think will win?
I think Donald Trump.
Donald Trump?
Yeah.
Okay, who do you want to win?
Donald Trump.
Donald Trump.
Yeah.
Why?
Yeah, because I love black people and he want to do good for you all over the world, not only America.
Okay, in what ways have you seen Donald Trump say that he likes black people and he wants to support black people and do good for the whole world?
Yeah, because when I see a lot of video hanging with the people, yeah, he don't care like to stay together with the people, like talking to people, and also love music, like black music, like rappers.
Okay, and who's your favorite celebrity in the USA?
Chris Brown.
Why?
But I love Chris Brown.
Okay.
More, yeah.
What do you love most about the USA?
Their music, also they know how to play basketball.
Who's your favorite basketball player from the US?
LeBron James.
Why is that?
Yeah, because he play good. He's a great all time.
What do you hate most about the USA?
But I hate it when they lost against USA because they say,
In the Olympics.
yeah, on Olympics, because they think they cheat against us. Yeah.
What's one thing you would change about the USA?
Yeah, to give black people equality like white people.
What do you think is the best influence of the USA in the world?
Their music, when their culture also.
And what's the worst thing about the USA? Their worst influence in the world?
Because they're forcing people to do what they want people to do. Like for example, gay people.
What do you mean?
Bro, come on, man. Like LGBT.
Yeah.
Yeah. Like they go to your country and they force you to. You have to to accept that. That's not right.
So you don't think LGBT people should be accepted, or?
I think no.
No? What do you mean by that?
No, man is man, woman is woman.
Any final words about the USA or any message that you have to the USA?
My message is soon I'm coming to USA.
Do not come. Do not come.
I want to come to USA.
You want to come to the USA? That's
Yeah,
your
of
message?
course, yeah.
Okay, alright. Alright, I'm here with
Felix,
Felix. And where are you from?
New Zealand.
Nice. Have you ever been to the USA?
Been to only Hawaii.
What was that? How long were you there?
We were just there for a holiday.
Okay.
Yeah, because it's relatively close, but I haven't been to mainland US.
When was that?
2018.
What was the highlight of your trip to Hawaii?
I'd say it was very multicultural there. So what I found quite amazing with Hawaii was there's a massive Asian and Japanese community there, and obviously historically when you look back at what happened, with Pearl Harbor, I just find it really interesting that there's a massive Japanese community there, given what has happened in the past. So yeah, I really like that, and also just like the weather, climate, surfing, swimming, and all that.
Describe the USA in one word.
Hegemonic.
Okay, I love that word. As someone who did economics, but elaborate please.
So, I mean, they're a hegemony, meaning they're the most powerful state in the world at the moment. Obviously, China's coming up, but US, they've kind of led the way with everything over the past 100 years, especially during the 1900s. Obviously, the US dollar is one of the most important currencies in the world, but their culture, their soft power is really important in what it's given to a lot of liberal Western democracies in the world. And they are a place that everyone wants to travel to, as well as, London, UK. So obviously with what's going on right now, is this kind of election based?
That's what we're getting to next. Yep.
That's my answer.
Okay, great. Okay, so moving on to the elections, it's effectively Kamala Harris versus Donald Trump. What are your thoughts on them?
I think that Trump has a great shot, even though Biden's out of the question. My doubts, my skepticism is just about Kamala Harris is obviously a better candidate than Biden. I think we know that. But my only doubts is that she didn't really earn the nomination. Biden did, obviously, but she's in such a unique position that she didn't need to. So my only qualms is if she is properly ready for the task. I think she is definitely up to it, but I think it's just so close right now, don't you think? Yeah.
Is there someone that you prefer of the two to win?
I'd go Kamala Harris, definitely,
Okay.
because Trump, looking at what he's done, I think people have been so quick to forget about the January 4 insurrection and how he's basically stacked the Supreme Court, you know, with a conservative majority that he's basically able to use them to get him out of his crimes. And I think people are just very quick to forget that. What I've noticed is people only compare him and Biden's policies and what they did while they were in office, and they kind of just excuse the rhetoric that he's used and what he's actually said to, you know, split people up and become really polarized. But I guess you can do the exact same thing with a lot of past presidents, just judge them by their policies and what they've really achieved. So it's really hard to judge it. I definitely prefer Harris because I just don't want to see more erosion of democracy that we've seen so far with Trump. I don't want to see, you know, another potential coup or him using the powers of the presidency for his own benefit. Yeah.
What do you think of American people? What comes to mind when you think of Americans?
Loud, definitely. I don't mean that in a disrespectful way, but like, for example, when I was traveling throughout Europe, like you can definitely tell an American, you know, from when you see them. But I'm not trying to be offensive or anything. It's just what I've observed. They're a lot different, you know, being from New Zealand, we're so far away from the US. So coming here, you definitely get a taste of what Americans, but also what a lot of other foreigners are like, and they're, you know, their own people. But I think it's a strength that they have because when they speak, people listen to them.
What's one thing you'd like to see changed about the USA?
I think a lot of Americans are very used to, because there's 50 states, that could be 50 countries. So a lot of them aren't, and I'm not trying to generalize, but I feel like a lot of them aren't aware of what goes on outside of the US. And so if there was just more awareness and people were interested in what happened outside of the US, I think that would be also very beneficial for the rest of the world too.
What do you like most about the USA?
Probably its culture, what they've brought to offer. Like me and my friend Pierce, we both follow the NBA quite a lot, and like we love it. And movies, like they've just been so influential on like modern tastes and culture. So we all follow what the US does to an extent. And yeah, I think it's pretty obvious.
And who's your favorite NBA player and why?
I mean, after the Olympics, Steph Curry.
Oh yeah, he was
That was
amazing.
incredible. I mean, we've got a Kiwi in there, Steven Adams. He plays at Memphis Grizzlies, so we follow him religiously.
What do you hate about the USA?
It's such a tough question. Ignorance.
Can you expand on that a little bit?
It's kind of my answer that I gave before. A lot of Americans aren't aware of things going on outside of their country, but because what's happening in their country is so like important to the rest of the world, you can really understand why. Ignorance, and it comes with maybe a lack of understanding of the rest of the world.
What's the best influence that you think the USA has on the world?
Probably financial systems, banking. I mean, we saw what happened with the GFC. Yeah, global financial crisis.
Okay,
Yeah.
okay. Hi everyone, my name is Korede and I'm embarking on an exciting challenge going from 600 subscribers to 10,000 subscribers in 1 month. I need your help to achieve this. I am a YouTuber, I make great exciting videos, traveling, asking people about hot topics. You can check out my videos, subscribe, follow, share and like. Let's hit this target of 10,000 subscribers in 1 month. Together we can do this. Let the internet unite and let's make this happen. Alright, and sorry. It's so annoying. There's so much beeping in this country with cars. It's annoying. Anyway.